Ole hyvä, Tuomas.
Hello everybody and welcome to our stream. My name is Tuomas Rauhala and I will be your host today. And we have a very interesting guest today, my dear friend and excellent drummer from Opeth. Please welcome Waltteri Väyrynen.
Thanks for having me.
In this stream we are going to talk about your career, how you have developed as a drummer and how you have went from a beginner drummer to the biggest stages in the world. And we have known each other for maybe 10 years already.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So it's been really cool to see you grow as a musician and a drummer. I really enjoy your Instagram videos you put out very often. So let's go back in time. I think most of the people want to know what was it like when you started playing the drums? How did it begin your drumming career?
I mean, I can't obviously remember the exact moment, but I was very young, small kid, 3-4 years old maybe, and before I actually got to try out a real drum kit, I was just hitting pots and pans at home and annoying my parents with that. But then slowly, I think my mom probably noticed that I was getting really into it, and my stepfather he actually had a real drum kit that I got to try out then shortly after, and that's kind of how I began my journey as a drummer.
So you were exposed to drums when you saw the drum kit at your home. Do you remember any a special moment that you heard a certain band or something?
I mean, I was watching lots of music videos on TV and maybe just playing along to those at home, and that's kind of how it started for me. And obviously there was a lot of music playing at home always, and that's kind of how I got inspired.
Yeah. Do you remember if you had any other instruments on your mind you would like to play, guitar or bass or something else?
Not really. I mean, it's always been just very natural to. I mean, from that time on already, it was only drums, and I've been playing guitar a little bit, but it's never been as serious or something that I would pursue as serious as the drums.
Yeah, I think drums are very visual instrument, and I many times hear people saying I'm not even a drummer, I like to watch drum videos.
Yeah.
Something relaxing, or I don't know what's in those videos, but we have big movements. It's like some art form,
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember if you had any practice routines as a kid? What did you do?
Well, that's the thing. I've still to this day, from that from that time when I started, I've never been that patient when it comes to practicing technique or go through some exercises. It's always been about playing along to the music that I like and just playing along to the songs that I wanted to learn, and that's kind of how I developed my technique and
I think that explains a lot about your style, because when I listen to your drumming, I feel that you're serving the song every time. You don't, of course, you play a lot of stuff. You can play difficult stuff, but you always serve the song, and that might come from that kind of practice routine you had.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, yeah, my main goal is always to, just serve the song that I'm playing, and not to, necessarily shine as a drummer, but just, play the music that you're doing and not like underline yourself as a player always.
It's always with bass players and drummers. We are in the back, and we don't want to make a big issue of ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's exceptions to that. But
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
How about? I wanna ask about one thing, because you're still quite young, and you have already played with legendary bands like the past 10 years or so. And what do you think, if you had been put into this situation like 10 years ago, would you have been able to handle it mentally?
It's a good question. I mean, probably not. I mean, everything that I've done in the last 12 years maybe as a professional musician eventually led me, where I'm today. And it's a lot more than just knowing the songs and being able to play the music. It's so much more, and how to cope with all kinds of things like the travel and
also it's always funny when people ask you to come somewhere like to the South America or whatever.
Yeah.
But many times people don't realize how much it costs, how much it takes to go somewhere. So it's, we all know "come to Brazil" comment. If you are from Brazil, it just thumbs up.
Yeah.
Comment.
No, but I mean, in general, what it takes for me, to play a show with Opeth, it's so much on the mental side, just preparing for the show and not let the nerves get to you, because I mean there's so much stuff to play on those songs, and I don't think as a 20-year-old kid I don't think I could have handled that pressure, and it's still work in progress sometimes. But I mean, obviously now after years of touring and playing with different bands has taught me a lot of things and how to cope with it.
Yeah, it's a very demanding job to play drums for Opeth, because sometimes you are playing with Process or something like that, and then you have those 200 ppm double kicks going. So I think it's a dream job for you, because
absolutely.
I don't think you are just a metal drummer. You are really versatile drummer who can play with Process and with the fast double kick stuff. So it's really, really great.
Thanks, man.
Do you have stage fright?
Yeah, I still do.
Do you have stage fright today?
Yeah, a little bit. I still I get it sometimes less and sometimes more, and I guess it just depends on the situation, and usually for me the difference is if there's a lot of friends and family in the audience, or maybe some of your idols are watching the show at the side of the stage and stuff like that, then you get more nervous, and obviously if there's some new songs in the set that we haven't played before, you might think about that kind of stuff, but yeah, it's I still get it, but it depends to what extent.
Yeah, you told me a nice story before we begin to record this show. You told about your double pedal breaking down at your last show in somewhere. Where was it? I can't remember.
Yeah, it wasn't the last show, but on the last tour in South America, I broke my double pedal in the middle of the song, and that kind of stuff kind of throws you out as well. When you're just trying to somehow survive through the song that has a lot of double kicks and the song is kind of based on that, and then you just have to survive with one foot for the rest of the song and somehow still try to make it work. And yeah, that kind of stuff is because it's so, you know, unexpected, and of course you're walking on stage and expecting that everything's gonna work as it should, and then something like that happens, and yeah, it's kind of challenging to, you know, cope with it sometimes, but then you just have to kind of ignore it for the rest of the show, like, and not let that ruin the rest of the evening for you, because there's nothing you can do about it, really.
And many times you don't know, like, what kind of battles you have going on there, and somebody commented on that video that something like that you're lazy and you don't want to play the double kick parts.
Yeah.
But maybe he or her didn't know about the situation.
No, probably not.
Yeah. All right. I want to ask you about the new Opeth album. I know the answer already, but I want to ask this, that everybody knows this as well. How long did you practice for the new album?
I think overall it was like more or less like a 6-month process. Like I got one song at a time. As soon as Mike was finished with the song, he sent it out for the rest to the rest of the band, and then I had time to focus on like one song at a time, which was super nice, because if I would have got all these songs like at the same time, I'm pretty sure I would have freaked out, because I spent quite a lot of time on each song.
Did you practice like every day, or have?
Pretty much, and the way that I did it was just to listen to the song first, like over and over, and then when you finally start to get a little bit of, you know, grasp what's going on, and it was only then when I like moved on to the drum kit and started learning the songs.
Yeah, when I first saw the Paragraph 1 playthrough video, I could instantly see that, okay, this guy is a musician, he can play the drums, and also there's no edits or whatsoever, so it's, you know, it's really played through.
Yeah, I mean, also like when we hit the studio finally to record the album, it was, even though it was like super difficult songs, still are, but since I had spent so much time getting the songs like sort of in my DNA, and they were like already in like a total muscle memory, it made the whole, you know, session much easier and, you know, kind of smooth, even though I, of course, spend a, you know, lot of time and effort in the studio as well to try to nail the songs, but at least I didn't have to, you know, figure out how to play a certain part or whatever, like at the studio.
Yeah, that's the best thing you can do before a session.
Exactly.
When you know that stuff so well, so you can be almost like an outsider looking at the song and not like just trying to survive the song with all the difficult parts.
I mean, with this kind of stuff, like, would be nearly impossible to, you know, just show up in the studio and not really have an idea what to play or how to play the songs.
Yeah, exactly. We have some great news coming up, right?
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Yeah, we promised some news, or you promised some news, and now we are going to reveal the news. And we have worked hard for your online course that is coming out today.
That's right.
And the course is called Skills, Mindset and Career, and it consists of of course, your breakdowns of your songs, but also we discuss about mental and physical side of drumming and dealing with nerves. We talk about ergonomics and your drum set and things like that.
Yeah.
How do you feel when the course is now done?
Well, I'm super excited, and it's something totally new that I've never done before, and I'm very grateful that you pushed me to, you know, go for it and do this kind of thing, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the response and hopefully people will, get something out of it and find it useful.
Yeah, I think there's so many courses out there that are just, full of exercises.
Yeah.
But I think how we did this course with you, we had a little bit different angle. We are talking about the pressure you're having on the stage, or these kind of stuff that they don't talk about this kind of stuff that often on drum courses. So we could watch some clips from the course.
Yeah, sure.
If you don't mind.
No,
and
absolutely.
actually we can play a game. There comes a clip and then we talk about the clip. I don't even know myself what's coming.
Right.
So let's have a look.
Yeah.
Some of those clips.
Cool.
Because when you transfer that into a beat, I think the basic things on that are the kick drum and the snare, and then you can do you can alter the sticking a little bit with your hands to whatever you feel like. But on the new album, for instance, on paragraph 4, we upgraded the beat a little bit like this.
That's kind of like that's kind of your like a trademark groove, or I'd say like Opeth has a lot of those like double paradiddle grooves.
Yeah, I think this particular part was from the song paragraph 4, where I'm playing that same sort of pattern, but on this song we kind of upgraded the beat a little bit. I call it like a double paradiddle 2.0.
Yeah.
I mean, the basic idea is still there, but yeah, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, and I want to remind you guys that we have the Q&A open, so if you want to leave a comment on the chat, just do so and we will check the comments later. But now we're just gonna look some more clips, right?
Yeah.
So Ville, play something. You have done many recordings during your career, so can you give us any tips? What tips would you give to, let's say, a beginner drummer when they're going to studio to record?
That's a good question. I think the most important thing is to be as well prepared as you can before hitting the studio. Like, just practice the songs that you're gonna record as much as you can, and when you know what you're doing, when you enter the studio, the whole recording session is gonna be so much more smooth and easygoing, as opposed to like if you're not exactly sure what you're gonna play, and if you haven't really had time to figure out how to play a pattern that you're meant to record in a song, then that's just gonna eat up a lot of time in the studio.
Yeah, and like we talked about this earlier, we talked about the thing when you're prepared, even though you haven't slept well or you have some kind of blackouts, still something is coming out if you have practiced well.
Yeah, exactly. If you have the songs and the material you're about to record sort of in your backbone, then that's like a huge advantage already. Even if the circumstances around it are not always like optimal.
Yeah. Yeah, just like we talked, if you are well prepared, something comes out.
Yeah.
Always. So that's a great tip for everybody, not just beginners, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like you said, you practiced for 6 months for the new Opeth album, and you can really tell that you have done so, because when you look at those playthrough videos, you can really tell that, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. There's no hesitation at all.
Yeah, I mean, I would say everything, well, nearly everything that I'm playing on the new songs, it's like, yeah, completely in muscle memory. So on these songs, there's very, little improvisation or even room for that. I mean, of course, when we started playing the songs live, they might start to live their own life a little bit, the songs, and of course, you might play something differently than on the album, but in general, I would say it's mainly muscle memory that's,
Yeah, if you don't have that muscle memory, many times it's like, you're trying to survive the song. But
Yeah.
when you have practiced well, you can start observing the song from a different angle, and you can concentrate on, a little details like how does this groove? Do I get the good sound of the drum and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, exactly. And then like even if you're not always playing like in perfect circumstances, like you haven't slept well, or if you're ill or whatever, it's still, you can sort of rely on the muscle memory that you just know the songs by heart, and you don't have to think about it too much. Sounds easier than it is, but
Yeah. There's been many occasions where you have to play, you have fever or something, and then you can, execute your songs really well, and then you say to somebody like, okay, I had a high fever, but okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
You performed so well, but that's the backbone thing you told in the video.
Yeah.
Okay, do we have any other great clips coming? Let's see. Still talking about the Paragraph 6 song, can you explain the drum fill which happens at around 2 minutes in the song?
Yeah, it's. I think for me personally, it's one of the funniest moments on the album, and yeah, this. I think what makes the fill kind of difficult to play is the tempo of the song. It's quite intense, and it's quite long. It's this. I would maybe count it. I would maybe split the fill in 4 different sections. How I think of it, and yeah, I can just show you the fill first in the real tempo, and then maybe break down that to a little bit slower and a few different sequences.
Yeah, I
didn't see that.
I can reveal that on the chorus, that is, you broke that down to a very slow tempo. It's really hard to understand anything from that tempo. So there's going to be music, like sheet music and PDF notes for all the exercises and songs you did there. So no problem. You don't have to understand that now.
Yeah,
that's great song. So what do you think? What's your favorite song from that album?
It's hard to say. I mean, probably the first song, Paragraph 1, because we usually we start the live set with that song, and it's pretty intense. It's quite aggressive, and yeah, it's sort of puts you in the mood for the rest of the show, and yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff going on in that song, as there is in the rest of the songs as well. But yeah, I love playing that song.
Yeah, you have a huge drum set and big drum kit. So does it like differ in your shows? How you set up the drums, or does your drum tech always put the same drum setup there? Or
yeah, I mean, I would say most of the shows we're playing, I have my own kit with me, which is great. I don't, have to freak out of, different different setup every night or whatever. But when we're doing flying shows like South America or just sometimes festivals, we don't have a chance to bring our own backline. But then, of course, my tech is trying to set up the kit as close as it is usually my own kit. And he's doing obviously a fantastic job.
Yeah, and I can tell that those fills and stuff you are doing, it's not really easy if you don't have your exact right setup.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the kit, but it's also everything that's set up I also use, so it's not just for the looks or whatever.
And you have two bass drums, two pedals there. Like
nowadays I do.
You don't have a double pedal. You have two.
No, I used to play double pedal for years, but then a few years ago I went for two single kicks. And
was there any particular reason, or?
I just prefer the feel, and it's a little bit more old school as well. And of course, if you're having two double, two kick drums on the stage, it's, you should use them. But of course, sometimes like on this last tour in South America, I didn't always have like two exact same kick drums or same kick drum heads. So I brought a double pedal, as a backup, and I used that on a couple of shows. But in general, I'm usually going for two separate kicks nowadays.
Yeah, on the course we are talking about your kit a little bit more, and you told me that you don't use any triggers, you don't use any backing tracks.
No, that's the thing. Like we don't play to a click track, we don't use any backing tracks, and I don't use any triggers. So everything is like 100% live that we're playing, and
that's so cool.
Yeah, we're very proud of it, and it's more old school, and it makes a difference to most bands nowadays. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with backing tracks or playing to a click, but it's just the way that
you
we
guys
do it.
Want to do it.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have any other clips from the clip show?
But yeah, I guess when it comes to like the nerves before the show, it's the fear of making mistake or fucking up a song or whatever. And the way to get over it is just actually my bandmate and the boss in Opeth, Michael Ockerfeld, he's come up with a good advice for that. It's like even if you mess up a song really badly or whatever happens on stage, it doesn't make any difference to anything. Like you still have everything in your life, you have your family, and everything stays the same pretty much. It's all in your head. Like even if you mess up, so what? And that's exactly the right sort of attitude to approach to it. And of course, like at least for me, it's never gonna be absolutely perfect, the show, exact the way you want it to be. There's always gonna be something that
compromises.
Always something that you could improve or do better or play tighter or whatever. But it's something that I've just had to sort of accept over the years, that it's okay to mess up or not play absolutely perfectly, and that's totally fine.
that is a skill you have to learn to be like have mercy on yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a long time to even be able to say that that I just said on the course, and it's still, like I said, it's ongoing process. But yeah, it's at some point you just have to, let it go and let go of the, perfectionism, because it's not gonna, It's not gonna happen. No, it's not gonna lead you anywhere. I mean, of course, there's healthy kind of, self-criticism, but like if you're not able to enjoy the show because you're too hard on yourself, then it's, difficult.
Yeah, it is. Ville, do we have anything else? Just a couple of clips coming up, or one. Could you show us an example of that fast stuff where you're playing in the paragraph 3 song?
Yeah, absolutely. There I was kind of demonstrating the switch between the full leg motion to going to the, the technique that I'm using on the faster tempo range.
Sloppily played those double.
Sloppy?
Yeah.
You can now comment if that was sloppy or not. I think you are a pretty good drummer. So before we go into the Q&A section, I'll just quickly go through what's included in the course. You guys already saw some clips, but not that clip, the clip before, we talked about the nerves. We have there a complete section about, it's called mental and physical side of drumming, and it's a long therapy session. So you can watch it from the course. But as I said, we are going to cover a lot of things in the course. We talk about your unique style, how you have developed your style, and your practice routines. You said you don't have any practice routines, but you have some routines. And of course, we are going to talk about your career, how you have created your your career in the music business from the scratch, so to speak. And if you want to hear some nerdy drummer stuff, we are going to talk about your foot technique quite much. We talk about your heel-toe technique, and we talk about the constant release motion.
Yeah.
And also we talk about Moller technique, how you use that Moller technique, accenting right and hi-hat patterns. Bear with me, I'm talking fast, but then we are talking about your groove and what kind of tools you have to create those grooves, or how to make the grooves groove.
Yeah.
And we talked about ghost notes and offbeat placement and your creativity. And like I said, we have a long walkthrough of your drum kit as well.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of stuff, and we will add the link about the course later in the description, so you can watch the course page. So let's go into that live Q&A section now. So I'll just open the chat, and there's like million questions already.
Wow.
So not million, 2 million. Let's see. What is your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Probably The Shawshank Redemption, off the top of my head.
All right. We talked about your favorite Opeth song. to play live, it was paragraph 1.
Yeah,
you told
at the moment.
Yeah. Are Mikael's demo drums super specific or more like a general guide?
They are pretty specific, and he's very good at writing drums, and most of the drum arrangements on the album, I would say maybe 90% or something came from him. And I mean, he told me that I have pretty much free hands to do whatever I want with the songs, but since his ideas were already like so advanced and impressive, and something that maybe not a drummer would necessarily come up with, I wanted to stick to those ideas, and of course bring in some of my own stuff as well and play it the way that I do it, and but yeah, it's he's super good at writing drums, and I'm very impressed by his skills.
All right. Next question is, who are the drummers that influenced you the most?
There's so many drummers that I was influenced when I started off, and still are. Like probably when I started as a kid, I would say Nick Barker from Cradle of Filth and Dimmu. He was definitely one of the biggest influences. Hellhammer, Adrian Erlandsson, and Daniel Erlandsson as well. And nowadays, guys like Thomas Hake and Dirk Verburen and Gavin Harrison, Bard from Leprous, Mickey D, definitely, Gene Hoglan. Who else? George Goliath, obviously. Yeah, so many. You.
So you. There's so many, like so many guys you mentioned, and that also explains your creative style, because the more you listen, the more you find out.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So the next question is what's the hardest Opeth song to play and why?
All of them. It depends how you look at it. Like sometimes I find maybe the more simple songs harder to play, because then you don't really have that much of space to hide behind the stuff that's going on. So every little hit, like on the song, makes a difference. Like in My Time of Need, for example, it's kind of simple song drums wise, but still, if you miss one hit, it's very obvious. And yeah, if I think about the complexity wise, songs like what should I say? Well, like paragraph 7 is pretty difficult. There's so much going on, and yeah, it's always a challenge, definitely.
And it's very obvious to practice those difficult songs that you think that they are very difficult, but when it comes to play like those ballads or like those softer songs,
Yeah.
so you are really like how could I say it in English, like bare, like like everybody, like you said, everybody hears if you do that mistake there.
Yeah.
So, all right, what's next? Is there an older Opeth song you would like to play in the next shows?
Blackwater Park, always. We've only played it, I think, twice. But yeah, that's the song that I'm always like kind of hoping to bring in the set. But it's also difficult to decide on the set list, because obviously the band has so many albums out, and you have to represent the latest album and play some classics that people always want to hear, like Deliverance and Ghost of Perdition and songs like that. So it's kind of difficult to come up with a set list nowadays, and especially like for festivals when you have limited time and you want to cover as many albums as possible.
This next question is covered in the course, but you can tell briefly. Is there a special routine you follow before a live show?
Yeah, it's like I said on the course. It's I like to have that 1 hour time for myself before the show, and just have it like a peaceful moment before the show, and not being in a rush or stress right before going on, and just get your stage clothes changed and then just stretch your muscles and do some push-ups and then play on the paddle a little bit. And
I said briefly.
sorry. But yeah.
And now the most important question. Your hair looks very healthy.
Does it?
So what routines do you have for your hair?
Not much, to be honest. I just wash it every other day. And
so guys, take a shower.
yeah. Use conditioner. And yeah.
The best tip I can give you: go to shower. Let's see. How about your time with Paradise Lost? Did you enjoy your time with Paradise Lost?
Of course. I mean, it's something that I will always be proud of, having played with that band and still having those guys as my dear friends. And yeah, I'm very proud of the time with the band and the 2 albums that I recorded with them.
All right. More hair questions. Don't ask about the hair anymore. Somebody is offering you a beer, but where is it happening? Let us know, because I want to drink that beer as well. Tell me something about your fans, how important they are for you.
Very. I mean, I wouldn't be here without them, really. And yeah, it's always nice to meet the fans and talk to them and yeah, just wherever you go, like this last time in South America, and just seeing the fans like excited to see you and how happy they are to get a photo and their album signed, and yeah, it's very, I'm very grateful for that kind of stuff. And yeah,
you get to see a lot of great bands on the tour as well.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite bands at the moment you like to go and see?
Well, on I keep going back to this last tour, but that's that's the most recent memory. But yeah, it was so nice to see Judas Priest, Scorpions, Queensryche, Europe every night when we played the same festival, and yeah, Priest especially. It was they were absolutely killing it. But that's also like one of my favorite parts about touring and playing festivals, like seeing the other bands after you finish with your own set and just have a good time and meet friends.
All right. Somebody wants to ask about your free time. Do you have any like secret hobbies, or do you have any free time?
Yeah, I mean, between the tours, we usually have a few weeks off, like totally off, which gives me a lot of free time, and I go to the gym like 3 times a week, and I go for long walks and meet up with friends for some wine and dinner, and yeah.
Do you remember the first time you listened to Opeth?
Yeah, I think I was maybe like 15. I've always known the band, but yeah, I was like in my teens, and I didn't quite get the band at first. It took me some time to get into it, and but once I finally did, then the band has always been like in my life and a big influence, and yeah, it feels kind of surreal to play with those guys right now.
Yeah, it's a so iconic band, and the sound is so iconic to me as well. So
yeah,
it must feel very surreal to be in the band.
Yeah,
after
yeah, it
hearing
still
it
is.
as a teenager.
Definitely.
Yeah. How about your time with Bottom After Midnight and the time you had with Aleksi Laiho? Do you have any memories to share about that time?
Yeah, I mean, it was very strange time because right after we announced the band, COVID kicked in, and of course all our plans regarding live shows and touring went into shit. So we didn't have that much of time as a band together, to do that much. But I'm still like very happy and proud that we at least got to record that one EP and play at least like 3 shows together, even though it was like restricted capacity in the middle of COVID. But still, obviously, like playing with Aleksi was a huge honor and something that would always like remember with pride and yeah.
Okay. Next question is how you guys decide which songs you are going to play in the live shows?
Well, like I said already early on, it's always a challenge to manage to fit as many albums that you want to represent in the sets, and
how many songs there's like in the set usually, like 20 or
12 songs usually.
They are long songs.
Yeah, in our headlining set we usually play for 2 hours, and yeah, it's usually I think everybody has to say like what songs we want to play, and obviously you have to include the classics and the new album.
You talked about the nerves and how it's like you have the stage fright sometimes when your idols come to the show. There's somebody asking, how does it feel to be around your idols at this age?
It's quite surreal still. Like, of course, you kind of get used to meeting other musicians and being around them at festivals, but it's still sometimes like when you actually make friends out of your like drumming heroes, it's pretty amazing and makes me feel very grateful.
This is next one is really important question. Have you had any drum teachers?
I have. Yes, you. And also when I went to the conservatory up in northern Finland, when I got out of school and carried on like to the next how you call it, second degree. Then I had a drum teacher, but apart from him and you, I haven't really taken any lessons throughout my career that much, which I should definitely improve. Like I always wanted to get some lessons from Kai from Nightwish, who's also a big influence to me. I forgot to say early on, but yeah.
All right. Do you smoke?
No, I've never smoked one cigarette in my life.
Should we start now?
Yeah, now is a good time to start.
There was one question somewhere here. What do you feel is your biggest achievement to date?
Maybe it's a bit boring answer, but in general, just being able to play the drums for a living and just tour around the world and being around good people yeah, just being able to do this, and of course there's so many like highlights and good memories and big achievements that I'm really proud of, but that's always the thing that comes up to my mind as the first thing, like, yeah, just being able to do this.
All right. Somebody is asking, how did you feel doing some back vocals for The Last Will and Testament?
That was super fun actually, and because I think it was the last day of the recording, and it was just like such a spontaneous idea from Mike that maybe we should all sing like different harmonies on a couple songs, and yeah, it was super fun, and it was kind of like a bonding thing as well, that for the first time ever in Opeth's history, all the band members participated on the backing vocals. And, yeah,
nice.
And there's also like a clip of that on the bonus documentary that came with the album, and it's kind of, yeah, it's super fun to watch that.
Have you played with Amorphis?
I have.
Somebody's asking. I didn't know that you were like a support drummer, or.
Yeah, I filled in for Snoopy like maybe 6 years ago on a less than 24-hour notice.
So how did you learn the songs?
On the airplane. No, actually, I was up in the northern Finland visiting my parents at the time when I got the call that are you free to do these shows tomorrow and the day after. I was like, yeah, but I need to figure out how to get to Helsinki.
How to play the song.
How to get to Helsinki in time and make it on the flight. So I learned the songs on the train from Oulu to Helsinki, and then went just straight to the airport. Like I didn't sleep at all, and then just pretty much straight to the gig.
All right.
And yeah, that's also something that I will always remember, and I'm kind of proud of it that I managed to do that, because it could have gone like horribly wrong and just make a fool out of myself, but it turned out pretty okay in the end.
Okay. You have a great Death t-shirt on. Do you have any, somebody's asking, do you have any like favorite albums from Death?
Leprosy. Definitely.
All right.
And that's
vintage.
Yeah,
stuff.
that's the Death stuff that I really like. The first two albums especially. Of course, the later ones as well. But yeah, Leprosy I would say is one of my top 5 death metal albums of all time.
Okay, nice. For me, I have the 90s era is for it's my favorite period of Death. It's one of my favorite bands as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Nice. Do we have something more? If you weren't a musician, what would you be?
Probably unemployed. No, I really don't know.
Living on the street.
Yeah, I never had a plan B. And
have you had any other job?
No.
No.
No. I was drum tech on a couple tours and a few shows. But apart from that, I've been super like fortunate to, always play the drums for a living.
Yeah, and on my behalf, I can say also that when you can do something for a living, it's already a big achievement.
Yeah.
And I heard one great drummer once saying like, if you can survive or succeed in your own country, that's already a big achievement.
Yeah.
You don't always have to think about, playing big stadiums or something.
Yeah.
Of course, it's cool to play for big audiences, but it's really hard to be in the music business for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Any concerts in Poland coming up?
Yeah, we play Poland in 2 weeks, the Mystic Festival.
So, go there. Do you have any favorite current albums you're listening to?
I like the new Behemoth actually. It's really good, and probably my favorite album of the year will be the new Catatonia album as well. It's super good, and it's very fresh, and I love the production, and I mean they're my all-time favorite band. So yeah, those two albums I've been listening to quite a lot recently.
How about outside of metal music? Do you listen to any like soft soul music?
Yeah, I mean, I listen to all kinds of music really. Trying to remember what I've been listening to lately, but it's not exactly new stuff. But Kent is also like one of my favorite bands from Sweden, and they're not exactly metal.
All right. I think we are now starting to wrap this up, this stream, and you guys can let us know in the comments how it went. And we will add the course link to the description, and it is there already, and it's drumroutines.com/SMC, so it's skills, mindset and career. So you can check it out from there. And I want to thank you so much.
Thank you very much
for being my guest today.
Absolutely.
Or actually, I was guest in your on your channel today. But
depends how you look.
Anyways, I want to thank everybody who was watching the stream.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
It was very, very nice. And I don't know, see you on the course and on the gigs and somewhere.
Yeah.
Thanks guys so much, and
See ya.
see you.